Welcome to another live episode of the YGC Collective, the podcast. We are your hosts, Giovanna Burgess-White with
Bella Negro.
And look, we're in the studio with our guest, Maria.
Yay.
Normally, we have our guest on the other side virtually, but today we have her here in session. If you are watching this for the first time, please hold, because we are live. And I have to make sure that we're going live on Instagram. But thank you for being here. We ended season 5 a couple of weeks ago so that we can just focus on our second annual collective, which is coming up in 3 months.
I can't believe it.
August 19th and 20th.
Woo.
Yay! Our second annual, and we're so excited because we already have the first set of panelists and industry experts, and we're working on the second half. And so every single week we'll have somebody on 10 minutes or less. They are not giving you all the nuggets here.
No way.
You have to go see them. And this year we're going to do our sessions a little different. So if you either went last year or you saw stuff on our social media, we're going to be doing roundtables of 4 per industry, and then we're going to have industry experts one-on-one. And so we're excited to announce 4 different sessions. We're going to be doing money, which wealth is the #1 loved topic for women, and that's why we have Maria here today. We're also going to talk about business, which is super important, health, and then we added aging gracefully and fashion this year, so we're so excited about it. So welcome.
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you. I am excited to be here. And, honestly, I am honored that you have allowed this space for me to share with your community what you have created, an amazing movement that, I really love, which is self, time, and money. And it's something that really, really resonates with my purpose. So thank you very much for allowing me to be here.
And we didn't pay her to say any of that.
Thank you.
We did not.
We love you. Listen, YGC always does a survey, and we always ask, what do people want to talk about in here? And I think it's crazy and wonderful at the same time. People put money, they put wealth. It's definitely top on their list of things, but yet we don't talk about it enough. I feel like in the world in general, the way we're taught, and then as women, we don't talk about it enough. So I don't want you sharing any of your golden nuggets because people have to come to the conference.
Yes.
But just share a little bit about yourself real quick. And then what do you feel like what problem are you really solving right now? What are you seeing?
Okay, let me introduce myself again, Maria Lujan, and I am a wealth and coach mentor that help and guide women to fall into financial confidence through intention and, really being able to understand how you need to have that relationship with your money. Because, let's be honest. Anybody can work numbers. Anybody can talk about that. But if your mindset, your emotions are not aligned with what your true purpose is with those numbers, there's really no good result that we're going to have for that. So that's what I truly believe that. And, you have to know what your true values are. I'm going to give you an example. So if I give both of you $1 million,
okay,
what would you do?
So many things. The first thing, I already have this answer. The first thing is I would buy my parents a place to just go retire. Okay. That's just been done with my mom's closet that she's always wanted. Perfect.
Oh my gosh, I would probably call you and go, I would like to 100% invest it and make that money make me more money, because then at the end, I'm going to have way more money to get the 5 9 things on my list that I can whip out of my pocket and give you.
I love it. So you see how each of us have different values. I have different values as well. I've always said, if I win the lottery, what I'm going to do, 50% is going to be 50% for me from that 50%, and then 50% to charity, and then the other 50% for my generation. So each of us have different values. So that's where we need to come from. And that's how I really like to guide women to understand, what's your true value? Not what she does, not what she wants, not what I want. What do you want? So that's how, I really like to guide and equip them with those tools.
That's so important.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna ask a couple more questions. Yeah. Because again, I don't want you to volunteer. What's one of the shifts or insight that have changed how you show up in leadership, business, and with your community?
Wow, that was a very intense thought that I had. Let me tell you why. Because for years, I really believed that being dependable meant self-sacrificing. Why? Because, we're women. We
Mhm.
want to be, we are independent. We are self-driven. We are purpose-driven, and we want to take care of everybody but ourselves, right? So when I learned, and I continue to learn, that the first thing is to give myself permission in order for me to be filled, so that then I can fulfill others within that space. And it's not just financially, it's also spiritually and emotionally. But when you understand and you come from that space, oh my gosh, that to me has been a shift that changed the way I lead, the way I love, the way I mentor, and the way I really look at each woman that I am sitting down with.
Oh my gosh, I can only imagine what you're going to be talking about and give everybody at the conference, because Maria, this is, and in alignment is so key, and it's just oozing out of you. Seriously, it really is.
I really have a passion. I was raised very independent. So until I got into the world of women, where I saw they were making money, but they didn't have a relationship. They were not independent. I'm like, okay, this is something that really needs to come off, to go out there and give them the options and understand that if you don't have a connection with your true values and what you're putting out there, nothing that you do in this world is really going to be aligned.
Wow. Okay, I feel like this is amazing, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. So those that are watching and they're like, okay, I'm gonna get my ticket. I definitely want to follow Maria,
Yes.
know all about her, and I want to talk to her, get to know her even more. But what is one thing that, if you could go, if these people or anybody could just remember me for one thing right at this moment, what would it be?
Ooh, I love that. One, to all the viewers that are here, one thing that I want to reflect on, and I really am going to say that so that you can get curious and that you can really join us at the collective,
Ooh.
is
Ta-da.
are you embracing your financial journey with your values, with intention, purpose, and fulfillment?
Dang!
Dropping a mic. So you said something earlier, which I think is really important. And last year, Yvette and I did a good job of having two people talk about money, because options, I always feel like people think there's only one way to do money. And I love that even just here you gave even just how we think about money, but that's really where you guide women is, what are your values first? What do you want in your life? What's that vision? And then there's so many options. And
so many.
We know, we've already announced some of the panels, so we're not going to announce everybody today, but the financial panel is already full. The wealth panel is full. We're still looking for another industry expert, which we're so excited that your mentor is coming. We're not saying who it is, but one of your mentors is coming. And so
that's amazing.
It's crazy that nobody talks about it, but everyone wants to hear about it. So we hope that, I know last year that was the number one session that people talked about, and I hope that people really did money where their mouth is. But this year, now you're going to have 6 different women from, again, same industry, but everyone does something a little different. And then the other thing is feeling that energy on who you're connecting with. And I think when you have 200 women in a room and you have 6 women that are doing the same thing, some people will be like, oh my God, that's competition. I'm like, no, that's real collaboration. And there's really someone in the room for everyone. So every person attending is going to leave going, each session, I connected with this person, or maybe multiple people. And again, having the options to even shop around and talk about, you can have more than one financial advisor. You can have a mentor. You can have a coach. There's just so many things around it. So
I agree with that. One last quote.
Ooh, go ahead, girl.
Where you focus your energy flows. So you need to really make sure that you know where your focus is, so that your energy can flow into that. And that's just part of the financial planning process. You need to know what the focus is, so that we can flow the energy into that.
Maria.
Well, we thank you for being here in person. I love the energy of just being in person. I'm like, this just keeps on solidifying that we need to have our own podcast studio. The YGC podcast studio coming in 2026. But no, for real, thank you for being here. We will be on next week with another panelist. But if you are just watching this now, everywhere on our social media, anywhere that you can follow YGC, you'll see the panelists that are already here, the industry experts, and then what's to come. And if you need to buy tickets, we'll definitely have the links wherever you're watching. And then we're also adding in a link. Maria was on the news a couple of times. So if you want to hear more about Maria and what she's been doing here in Houston, we were going to add those links too. So go watch her on Channel 2, right? It was Channel 2? Channel 2. Thank you for being here. We'll be on next week for another
We'll
episode.
see you at the YGC Collective.
Bye.
That one's easy.